In my absolute desperate attempt to come up with cups so I can make some different kinds of drinks, what I've done here is I've went to the jewelry section of Ben Franklin Crafts, and this is called a they're 5-piece large filigree tube gold thingies. It's filigree, and there's holes all through it, as you can see, so the liquid wouldn't stay, and it's completely empty. What I've done is I've taken a teeny tiny little piece of clay and jabbed it and kind of made like a worm out of it, a little worm, and then leave it flat on your work surface and go nuts because it likes to move. And then I squished it all down in there like that, and then I just used the end of my paintbrush, it's just a little plastic thingy, and kind of made a little circle there. And I also used the tip of my razor blade to cut out the top after I filled it and have a little hole, and then I took my paintbrush again and smoothed it out and just went around. And so now I have a tiny little cup that I can fill, and it's fancy because of the filigree work, and I'm gonna make some drinks out of it, or put drinks in there. Here we're making a mug of coffee. I'm gonna use a little piece of tin foil just so I can throw it away, and I have my little cup. You can check my other videos to see how I made this one. Very simple. Using Krylon triple thick clear crystal glaze for my liquid in this case, and I'm using some black chalk. I'm taking the crystal glaze and I just drip it, and you don't need very much for that tiny little cup. Seriously, tiny little bit. So there's my glaze. Leave my toothpick there because I'm going to use it. Now I'm going to scrape some black because it's going to make black coffee. Let's try that. See if that's dark enough. Mix up your chalk. Oh yeah, that got nice and black. So just take your little tiny cup and your black and get it on the tip of your toothpick and drip it right down in there until it's filled up. Of course, don't make it so that it overflows. Bless you, sweetie. There's your coffee. Let that sit and dry, and it will go down just a tiny bit. Because when it dries, it'll get smaller. And I'll show you the top if I can. Anyway, there's coffee. And when it's all done, it's going to have this kind of texture. See how it's glossy? And I just painted black last night on this piece of wood so you could see how glossy it actually is. And it'll stay looking wet even later on. Oops, my light's not on. Okay, see if you could see this. And then there's the coffee. A little coffee cup. Of course, you get black fingers from the chalk. Oh, we're going to make a little mug of milk. It's exactly like the coffee one, except that it's milk. So, use your triple thick crystal clear glaze. Put a drip on your tin foil. Doesn't have to be tin foil, that just is something cheap you can throw away. A little scrap of tin foil. Make sure you put the lid back on here, because it will dry out. And I use white chalk. And it can be any kind of chalk. Doesn't really matter. Anything that gives it color. Doesn't take much. Yummy. Looks like milk. And from someone who's lactose intolerant, it looks really, really painful to digest. So, here's my little mug, which you can see me make. Ooh, can you even see that? Here's my little mug that you can see me make in another video. So take your milk, drip it, drip it,
Mom,
drip it.
I want to make a butter. I want to make something too.
You want to make something too?
Yeah.
Okay. And that might be too big of a drip in there. Let me just put a little tiny bit more. And that's it. There's your little tiny glass of milk. Oops, my hand's too big. Okay. It'll dry completely clear and shiny. And here's what the coffee is, a dried coffee looking one. If you use black, you can see the shine on there. And it'll look wet like that forever. This is just black instead of milk colored. Alright, here's the lemonade.
Mom, I wanted to make it, and I've almost finished.
Alright, well, hold on. Use yellow chalk. There, your lemonade is in the glass. From a lemon cane I made a long time ago, I just slice a piece off, and then I have, let's see, it's out of focus. Then I have a little round piece of lemon. I cut it in half and put a little slice on one side, and then I can put that right on the edge of the cup, of course, to make it look like lemonade with a little teeny tiny lemon. Here we're making a mug of beer with the foam. So I'm going to put some of my Krylon Triple Thick Crystal Clear Glaze here. Oops, wrong lid. Then I'm going to use some chalk that's not quite yellow and not brown. It's, I don't know what color it's actually called, but it's kind of beer colored. So.
Then it's mustard?
No, not mustard. It's beer.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Alright, then you take your hideous yellow beer stuff and drip it into your little mug. Ew. For the foam, I'm using teeny tiny little, oh, can you see this? There you go. They're glass beads, and they're holeless like marbles, teeny tiny little ones, and they have no holes in them. And I just put a few right here. I just have a piece of plastic here to work with. Can you even see that? Yeah, okay. And then I'm going to use my crystal clear glaze because it'll act as a glue and it'll make it shiny. I have a clean toothpick. I'm going to mix that all over it. And get them completely saturated. Your mug. They're not going to want to go on very easy because they're stubborn. Just do the best you can. I completely forgot to make the bubbles white. All you have to do is when you have your beads and you have your glaze on there, just take your white chalk and scrape a little bit of white coloring on there, mix it up, and then it'll actually be the white on there. Put some white on there. As you can see, white on top, a couple yellow on the bottom, and it makes it look like foam more than no color. We have lemonade, Kool-Aid, milk, coffee, and beer.